So let's talk about his political views. Tim Allen has described himself as a fiscally conservative person. He has stated in interviews that he leans left on some issues and right on others, but overall, he leans more towards the right. There's nothing wrong with that. People, there are conservative people. I'm going to attack his left on some issues because a lot of people love to use this argument. I'm going to attack it, but just a moment. I want to get more into a little bit about his political views. He's also clarified that while he is a conservative, he did not vote for Donald Trump. Okay, well, I guess you don't support all racists. His political views have been reflected in his work because he did a sitcom called Last Man Standing, where that character was an outspoken conservative character. So just to be clear, he says the N-word, feels like he should get a pass because he's not saying it in negative means when there's malice when you say that word regardless. Okay, all right. So that defeats the whole point. And that because it shouldn't be saying bad because it's coming from him, like all of a sudden he's got this cosign from Black people, which he does not have. He has a history of being awkward when talking about Black culture, which, I mean, if you don't understand Black culture, it could be awkward. I'm willing to kind of give him a pass on that if he hadn't said N-word. Being conservative doesn't necessarily mean that you're a racist. I know a lot of conservative people that I don't consider to be racist. Bigoted, maybe, but not necessarily racist. But everybody has some bigotry in it, whether they want to admit it or not. Even I do. I try to fight it. Every now and then it comes out and I have to self-check myself. And if it's ever brought to my attention that I am being bigoted, I don't deny it. I embrace what somebody else is saying. I take it in and I try to learn from that. But let's just say that there are a lot of conservatives out there that are not the greatest supporters of minorities in this country. That's about him. And I've already gone into that about him, and I'm done talking about him. I just find it really fascinating that people find it so egregious that Disney wants to have fair representation for all people, even people that identify in the LGBTQ plus community. But these people don't have a problem with racists or people who have exhibited forms of racism or racist tones to continuously keep getting jobs with that very same company. Okay. He said something when he describes himself politically as somebody who's fiscally conservative and social liberal. He said some social issues, but I'm going to attack not him. I'm talking to a larger point, to those people who say they are fiscally conservative and socially liberal. Okay. Fiscal conservatism is explaining that fiscal conservatives believe in the reduction of government spending, lower taxes, reducing the debt, and promoting free market capitalism. They argue that smaller government with fewer regulations allow businesses to thrive and drives economic growth. That's what fiscal conservatism is. Social liberalism is social liberals advocate for social justice, human rights, and equality. They believe in using government intervention to address social inequities. All right. How can you address social inequities? One of the ways that you can address social inequities is by funding social programs to try to create equity, right? Equality is creating laws, right? Equality is Black people can now sit in lunch counters and drink from water fountains. Equity is something different. That is people truly, truly having a fair balance in life. If there is a fence and I'm standing next to a person and that fence is 6 foot, I can see over that fence because I'm 6'4". Somebody who is 5'5" can't see over that fence. So how to make things equal or equitable? We give them something to stand on so that they can see over the fence just like I can, right? So in order for that to happen, you must invest in social programs. How to help the education gap? By investing in programs like Head Start and pre-K learning for underprivileged communities, which means you have to spend money to be able to do that. You can't say that you're fiscally conservative when you want smaller government and less spending, and say you're socially liberal because that means government intervention and more spending. I've attacked so many people that have tried to say that they are fiscally conservative and socially liberal. You're not socially liberal. What you are is you believe that there should be equality. You believe that everybody should have a fair chance, but you're unwilling to invest in the programs that allow you to do that. Stop saying you're fiscally conservative and socially liberal. You're not. Say that you are a hypocrite, because that's essentially what it is, because there are two ideologies that go against one another. You can't believe in both of them. It's like saying that you believe in democracy and communism. You can't. Well, I guess it's more like believing in communism. It's like saying you believe in fascism and communism. Democracy, I guess you could have democracy and communism, socialism, because we obviously have socialist programs in our democracy. So say fascism and communism. And this is another thing. This is just a side tangent. And then I'm off this subject completely. And then we'll move on to the next segment where we're talking about housing discrimination and not what you might think. If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/Unsolicited Perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.